The Rio Grande Valley will soon have 100 miles of new border wall built.
I spoke to the second highest ranking Border Patrol agent in the country who visited the valley today to tour the new wall that's already being built and everything that comes along with it. Deputy Chief Raul Ortiz is no stranger to the RGV, previously being stationed here for 5.5 years, but now calling shots in Washington. A big focus for him is the Rio Grande Valley.
So the Border Patrol in RGV continues to be one of the busiest places, and so these construction projects are going to do a tremendous benefit.
Chief Ortiz came to see the 100 newly constructed miles of border wall in the valley.
This was a very problematic area for me when I was a deputy chief down here, and I can already tell you that we've seen a dramatic drop in traffic and we don't have the complete system in. We still don't have the gates, we still don't have the lights and some of the camera systems, but just the barrier itself has already proved impactful.
By the end of October, Ortiz says CBP hopes to have 400 miles of new wall completed along the border. But the wall isn't the only addition.
You're looking at cameras. We're going to actually have some cameras in addition to the enforcement zone cameras on the wall itself. So we're looking at long-range video capability that heretofore hadn't been the case.
For the first time since the pandemic started, traffic is starting to pick up. Just yesterday, 615 apprehensions were made in the valley and more than 2,000 along the southern border.
To stash houses, tractor trailers, we've seen an increase there. And why? Because they all want to get away. They all know that if they're apprehended by a Border Patrol agent, they're going to be expelled immediately, or they're finding themselves susceptible to these smugglers in these stash houses. And what does that create? That's a petri dish for COVID-19. When you put 30 or 40 people in a 2 or 3 bedroom home, that's certainly going to be a recipe for disaster.
As for the migrants being found by Border Patrol, currently they're being processed under Title 42.
Title 42 is a CDC authority which has allowed us to expel people immediately based upon, this potential threat of COVID-19.
It's a policy Ortiz says has saved countless lives.
We've had over 375,000 encounters so far this year. And compared to last year, we had 815,000. So can you imagine if we had to deal with those same numbers this year with the COVID threat and having to process those people and then ultimately turn them over to another agency? That certainly would have overwhelmed the entire system. So what we've been able to do is reduce the risk to our employees, their families, and also help improve the security here in these border communities.
Nearly 1,000 Border Patrol agents have contracted COVID-19 in the last 6 months, with 3 of them passing away from the virus.